In Japan recently, resignation proxy services have emerged and are gradually increasing in users. As the name suggests, a resignation proxy is a service that communicates an employee's intention to resign to the company and handles negotiations on their behalf. This time, the protagonist is a thread poster who used a resignation proxy to quit the job for a certain purpose. What exactly was the thread poster's goal in using the resignation proxy? Furthermore, experienced thread users share their own stories. You can also gain knowledge about systems and mechanisms favorable to workers, which may be useful if you ever decide to quit your job in the future.
I'm really sorry, but I'm going to use a resignation proxy service. Tomorrow morning, the company will be notified of my intention to resign. For now, I'll be out all day tomorrow. I've made up my mind to quit. I never want to contact them again.
Going AWOL out of nowhere is bold.
I feel terrible, but please bear with me.
It's not AWOL since the proxy will contact them on your behalf.
That's your right, after all.
Is there any issue from a labor union perspective?
The only problems would be unauthorized absences or taking leave to the point of disrupting work.
If the absence of one person disrupts operations, doesn't that just mean the company is poorly organized?
What about your personal belongings at the office?
I quietly took them home last Friday. Honestly, all I had was a cushion. I'll leave the office supplies behind.
The thread users seem familiar with resignation proxies, but are curious about the details since they've never met anyone who actually used one. They start asking the thread poster various questions.
Why go through the trouble of using a resignation proxy? I'd understand if you were leaving the Yakuza or something.
I just want to quit the company immediately.
Don't you have to wait at least a month after notifying them before resigning?
Also, I have a few bombs at work. I didn't want to do a handover because they might discover them.
Resigning with almost zero notice is hilarious.
This already smells like a disaster waiting to happen.
Well said. He's a poop terrorist.
I get that feeling. I also had work bombs, and when asked about them, I said, I handled it, and quit right after. I hadn't actually handled them, so I'm sure chaos ensued.
People who use resignation proxies are always like this.
It sounds fun to quit while imagining the bombs going off.
If the bombs are going to be discovered anyway, isn't it the same whether you use a proxy or not?
If I resign formally, I'd have to do a handover. During that process, there's a chance twice as many bombs could be exposed.
Couldn't you be sued for damages if those bombs explode?
I've decided not to think about that. I'm moving out of my apartment by the end of March and disappearing. If it's not discovered by then, it's fine.
You should change your phone number ASAP.
Why? Won't they contact you at home about the resignation?
No, I'll just ignore the calls. Otherwise, what's the point of using a proxy?
If you answer, it could lead to a lawsuit. With a proxy, it's like it never happened.
The proxy fee includes lawyer costs, so I'll leave the rest to them.
Change your phone number, move, and flee abroad. Perfect.
At this point, you're like a Yakuza hitman.
All communication should go through the proxy. That's the whole point of the service.
You might still get sued for damages.
I've got a lawyer, so it's fine.
As the saying goes, a flying bird leaves no trace. One might expect a working adult to at least hand over their tasks properly. A sensible thread user asks the thread poster about this.
At least you left some notes about your current tasks, right? If you just walked out, that's pretty harsh.
Unfortunately, I left nothing. No notes, no handover. I'm really sorry.
How long were you at that company?
6 years.
What about handing over your work?
Even without a handover, we're connected in spirit.
You sound like Luffy from One Piece.
How were your relationships at the company?
I tried my best.
By the way, how much did the resignation proxy cost?
Around 50,000 yen. I made sure to use a company with lawyers. I had unused paid leave, so it covered the 2-week notice period.
The company pushed the thread poster to this point. They're the ones at fault.
If you have about 10 days of paid leave left, you could quit without ever going back.
I'd hate to keep working for weeks after saying I'm quitting. Once I declare it, I don't want to go in for even one more day.
Considering mental stability, a resignation proxy might be cheap.
If it's intentional, you could be sued for damages, but if it's just work mistakes, you probably won't be held personally liable.
That might be true.
Can someone who can't even resign face-to-face handle any job?
There's always a certain number of people like this in every workplace. It's funny.
Isn't that just your personal opinion?
It's the opposite. The company is the problem if it's so bad you can't even say, "I quit," to their face.
Whether the thread poster's use of a resignation proxy is rare or not, they receive a variety of opinions. Meanwhile, another thread user with experience using a resignation proxy appears.
If you want to quit, I recommend a service called Resignation Guardian. I consulted multiple proxies before deciding. Pick a few, hear them out, and then choose.
What are you doing after resigning? Do you have another job lined up?
No, I'm just going back to my parents' place for now.
Won't it cause trouble later if you didn't tell the proxy about the bombs?
From my experience, I'd advise choosing a proxy with a lawyer. Otherwise, you'll regret it.
I think proxies without lawyers are fine too. But you might have to handle post-resignation paperwork yourself.
Legally, you can resign with 2 weeks' notice, but if you take paid leave, doesn't that not count?
If there's trouble after using a proxy, they might not even approve your paid leave.
Who's going to deny it? Taking paid leave is a worker's right.
Employers have the right to change the timing.
At resignation, they can't enforce that right.
If the issues are serious enough for a lawsuit, hiding behind a proxy is pointless. If they're not, you don't even need a proxy. Either way, it's a waste of money.
Make sure to get your separation notice early, or your unemployment benefits will be delayed.
If you have bombs, maybe not using a proxy would have been better. It draws more attention.
How much does the proxy cost? I'm scared of hidden fees.
Mine was 30,000 yen. Don't worry, they rarely fail.
It's a rational choice, though I've never seen anyone use one.
The thread heats up with the thread poster's story and the bombs they left behind. Another thread user shares their resignation proxy experience.
I couldn't afford a proxy, so I pretended to be one and called to resign myself.
That's hilarious.
With your brains and guts, you'd thrive anywhere.
At this point, you are the resignation proxy.
Why not use that courage at work?
Damn, you're smart.
That's genuinely clever.
At this point, you are the resignation proxy.
A thread user with nerves of steel appears, pretending to be a resignation proxy to quit the job.
With that courage, you could have just resigned normally.
What are you doing now, thread poster?
I used a proxy and am now jobless. I regret not securing another job first.
The company that assigned such bomb-like tasks is at fault. Try to move on.
This happens a lot. Wanting to quit without a handover, trying to leave without causing trouble.
Your phone's gonna ring nonstop.
I thought resignation proxies were an urban legend.
In black companies, they're common. Some get threats like, "We won't let you quit," or "We'll come to your house."
Once, a proxy submitted a resignation form in the wrong format, and it was a mess.
I resigned by mailing my notice without a proxy.
Thread users dread announcing their resignations. Meanwhile, one shares a sad experience after mustering the courage to submit their resignation.
I envy those who get begged to stay. When I quit due to illness, no one tried to stop me or even asked, "Are you okay?"
You must have been really incompetent.
That realization hurt.
This happens a lot. Some just get a casual, "Oh, okay."
Your coworkers were probably just waiting for the next lottery draw to replace you.
A part-time worker struggling to quit seeks advice from seasoned veterans.
I've been at this job for a week and plan to quit tomorrow. What reason should I give? The real reason is the required skills are too high, but if I say that, they'll say, it's too early to judge after a week. There's no one to rely on, so I have to research and work past my shift. I hate this and want to quit.
They'll just say, you were slow to learn, so it wasn't a good fit.
If you think you're incompetent, your boss probably does too. Just quit.
Your boss will definitely look relieved. What if they say, hiring you cost money and effort?
If they say that, it's definitely a black company. Call the police.
You're a student, right? A minor or college student? No decent company would say that to a student.
No, I'm a freelancer. If I were a student, I could ghost them, but as a freelancer, skipping out could mess up my social insurance.
Are you even enrolled in social insurance?
I'm not sure if the paperwork's done, but they said I would be. I'll ask tomorrow.
I just told my boss I'm quitting, with 2 weeks left. The CEO sits next to me, so I want to leave ASAP.
Working those 2 weeks after resigning is hell.
Is it normal to not be allowed to take paid leave after resigning?
Even juniors who quit had to work until the last day.
Maybe making resignation proxies a side gig is a good idea.
The market's growing, but competition is fierce.
There were only 3 agencies before this became mainstream, now there are over 30.
The topic shifts to life after quitting and becoming unemployed.
I was jobless for 2 years and felt miserable daily. Even with hardships, working is mentally better.
During unemployment, I studied for a social insurance labor consultant license.
Studying is admirable. It's worlds apart from doing nothing.
It's been a month since I quit, and it's too comfortable. I'm relearning how awful work is. I study English whenever I want.
The comfort won't last. Soon, you'll lose the courage to re-enter the workforce and hit rock bottom.
Studying is good, but you need a plan.
Next, a sharing session begins among Thread users who have past resignation experiences, exchanging their common stories.
Even if I quit, I don't want to just abandon my work, so I want them to prepare a successor for handover. It's been a year since I said, I'll quit after properly training someone, but they still haven't prepared a successor. Is it finally okay for me to quit now?
I think they're not preparing anyone because they assume people who say such things won't actually quit anyway.
There was this new employee who told the president during lunch break on their first day, "This job isn't suitable for me." She's still legendary in the company.
What incredible nerve.
With that level of abnormality, you'd think her true nature would have been obvious during the interview. How did she get hired?
I submitted my resignation due to mental breakdown from overwork, but after much back and forth, it was changed to reduced working hours instead.
When you switch to part-time, even shitty jobs suddenly become enjoyable.
I don't know yet since I haven't actually changed positions. I don't hate the work itself, but the excessive pressure from my sense of responsibility destroyed me mentally.
I recommend people who quit to relocate to a different prefecture. You can reset everything and start fresh.
I'd like to move far away and live leisurely while working part-time.
When I said, my grandmother passed away. I'm sorry, but I need time off for the funeral. My boss replied, that's when we're busy, so it's problematic if you take time off. Not a single word of sympathy like, that must be hard, came before that.
There are some people with seriously messed up ethics. I heard about someone whose grandfather died during the day and asked to leave early, only to be told, he's already dead, so going after work is the same, and quit on the spot.
When I came to work the day after my father's funeral, my supervisor smirked and said, "Work is waiting for you."
If a workplace can't function with just one person missing, it's not a properly established organization.
What do they plan to do when someone gets injured, sick, or dies?
Work should be manageable somehow, so stop prioritizing it over family tragedies.
Workplaces barely functioning must be hard to quit from too.
How do you quit from service industries with single staff per store operations rather than area-based systems? They probably can't cover the missing positions.
Those quitting shouldn't worry about such things. Even if it causes collapse, just quit when you want to.
Staffing is the company's responsibility.
I was in public security work. When I said, the risks are too high and I fear for my safety, so I'm quitting, the procedures were completed the next day and I could leave within a week. It was surprising how systematic and smooth the resignation process was in such a typically bureaucratic, irrational and inefficient organization.
Once you declare resignation, you're already treated as an outsider.
I think they have to handle things mechanically to avoid future trouble, and they're probably used to dealing with quitters. Though I'd consulted beforehand and my superior understood my situation, even when I suddenly made the request after a long gap, everything went surprisingly smoothly.
Looking at blogs of police academy dropouts, they all write about this same experience.
Amidst this, an advanced user's resignation proxy experience shocks the Thread users.
I get that feeling. A junior at my workplace fudged invoice amounts, leaving 2 million yen in unpaid bills and 1.5 million yen in dead stock before using a proxy to disappear.
I sympathize, he must have been struggling.
He'll probably get sued.
Can middle managers use proxies? I've got 3 years worth of backlog. If it's discovered, I'd lose in court.
A user worries about resignation proxies affecting future job prospects.
When job hunting, if the new employer checks with the old one, could they say, they used a resignation proxy and hurt my chances?
They shouldn't disclose anything that harms the worker.
If the new employer calls the old one, you're done. But with strict privacy laws, they probably won't share such details. Good point. Thank goodness for privacy laws.
I worked at a department store and forgot to order a limited edition dessert for an event. Ads, flyers, and the website had already promoted it. I realized the night before and turned off my phone, skipping work. About 200 customers showed up, but the item wasn't there. The manager and supervisors had to apologize. I used all my paid leave to quit and am now a freelancer.
Most thread users criticize resignation proxies. The topic shifts to the hassle of retention talks.
Retention meetings are annoying. They say, quitting now will make job hunting hard. That's not their concern.
If you're quitting, you've already got another job, so retention is pointless.
They just want you to stay until they find a replacement.
They don't care about you. High turnover affects managers' evaluations.
I don't need a retention meeting, just let me set a resignation date. When I complained, they said, we're required to say this, making it awkward.
You're kind for humoring them.
At my retention meeting, they said, no one will hire you with your resume. Like, thanks?
If they're provocative during retention, they're just bad bosses.
At mine, they said, we're counting on you, don't quit.
After someone used a proxy at my workplace, they banned no handover resignations in the rules.
So they'll sue if you break it?
If it's not legally binding, can't you ignore it?
Our rules might be stricter than the law.
Only follow the rules if you're leaving amicably. Proxy users just need to give 2 weeks notice.
Easy, ignore the rules.
A user shares their toxic workplace and asks for advice.
Black companies create stricter rules after proxy resignations, making things worse.
My workplace was fine until I transferred under a monster boss. No clear instructions, just endless, that's wrong, fix it, loops. Progress stalled, and other departments got mad. If I acted without approval, I'd get yelled at regardless. What should I do?
Tell the CEO, I like the company and don't want to leave.
Team up with coworkers to bully the boss.
A friend was bullied by a boss, so we conspired with juniors to get them fired. We badmouthed them to higher-ups until they quit.
Some bosses micromanage like crazy. I want to say, I'm not your wife.
Exactly. They even forget what they said. Once, after constant updates, they scrapped my work last minute, 3 days wasted.
Here's a stress relief trick. After everyone leaves, kick the boss's chair, flip off their desk, and scream. It's cathartic. I stayed late daily just for this.
That's a little sad.
More pathetic than scary.
Please don't become the guy muttering curses on the train.
I leave before my boss. What should I do?
Type, die, repeatedly in Word.
I overthink even minor things. Maybe I'm not cut out for work. For example, I worry if products will arrive on time, even after confirming the deadline.
Even if they don't, it's not your fault.
You need an escape route to survive work.
What bombs have you left at work?
I hit a company car and didn't report the loose bumper.
I embezzled. My severance was docked for the amount.
I'm starting my first job in April. Is work really that hard? As a student, I've had drinks thrown at me and been forced to kneel. Is it worse than this?
It's luck-based, but probably not worse than your part-time job.
Good. Live houses, stadiums, and amusement parks were brutal, especially stadiums.
Event jobs are always tough.
Dome games were hell. Drinks thrown at me, grabbed, punched, kicked, even death threats.
Quitting is nerve-wracking, but the walk home is euphoric. Nothing else compares.
Like summer break after quitting club activities?
My boss ranted at me for an hour after I said I'm quitting. What do I do?
Go to HR or call a resignation proxy.
Resigning takes courage. How do people quit in your country? I only know from comedies, so share real stories. Attitudes toward work vary by region. If you've left any bombs at work, spill the secrets here. Stay tuned for more behind-the-scenes insights into Japan. Like, subscribe, and donate. See you next time.